Late San Francisco Mayor Ed Lee is being honored this evening at City Hall. This is video of the community gathering moments ago as a bust of Lee is being unveiled at a ceremony attended by dignitaries, friends, and Lee's family.
ABC 7 News reporter Leanne Melendez is here with a look at his time as mayor.
Yeah, but I will say he had a funny side too.
Oh,
to
he
him.
was warm and very funny.
Absolutely, and he was the best person to laugh at his own jokes.
That's true. I agree.
Absolutely. Yeah. So as you enter San Francisco City Hall, the public will see Ed Lee's bust looking at them. As the first Chinese American mayor of this city, he is a reminder that representation matters. He knew how to bring people together, and for those who worked with him, the term "a bridge over troubled waters" comes to mind.
San Francisco is known as a city filled with gratifying irony. Today, the bust of James Phelan, a former mayor who promoted his anti-Chinese views, was replaced with that of the city's first Asian American mayor, Ed Lee.
It's so poignant, it's so important, not just, for the Asian community, but for all people in San Francisco to know that hate and discrimination like that doesn't have a place in this city.
Lee was a child of Chinese immigrants who grew up in public housing. He later became a housing rights attorney. When then Mayor Gavin Newsom resigned to become lieutenant governor, the Board of Supervisors agreed they could work with Lee and elected him. City Administrator Carmen Chu was a board supervisor back then.
We really wanted someone who knew how the city operations worked and try to take, the politics out of things and really try to just deliver for the city.
As I hold the office of.
Shortly after, Lee was elected by voters in 2011, promising to only serve for one term.
Obviously, talking with family and friends just to have a good feel for what I want to do and make sure I make up my mind.
He broke that promise, much to the dismay of some city officials, and went on to win re-election in 2015.
One regret that I have is that we all took him at his word, and obviously that has changed.
During his tenure, Lee focused on the city's growing homelessness issue, and in 2016 created the Department of Homelessness and Supportive Housing. He later came up with the Affordable Housing Fund, realizing the need for more homes for seniors, teachers, and other San Franciscans who were being priced out. He also made it his mission to revitalize the long-neglected mid-market area by bringing in Twitter and other tech companies, offering them big tax breaks, a controversial move still criticized today. For some years, it appeared the area was on its way to recovery, only to fall once again in disarray after Twitter moved its headquarters to Austin, Texas. Lee was also known for appealing to the heart of the city. For one whole day, he turned San Francisco into Gotham City to please a 5-year-old with leukemia obsessed with the Batman character. He loved sports and was instrumental in bringing the Golden State Warriors to San Francisco and facilitating the construction of Chase Center.
He was a Giants fan, he was a Warriors fan, he's a big fan of all the sports. He loves sports, So every time he talked about sports, his face lit up.
In December 2017, Lee suffered a heart attack at his local supermarket and later died at SF General Hospital. He was 65.
How do you want people in San Francisco to remember that late Ed Lee?
He's a people's mayor. He's a good mayor. People's mayor, mostly.
Ed Lee initially did not want to be interim mayor. In fact, he was on vacation in Taiwan when the board was voting. He was convinced by supporters and one Willie Brown to accept that position. How do you say no to Willie Brown and Rose Pak?
No,
his friend.